Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we love to talk about movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a review. Alright, with that we're going to jump into today's review, which is for Fall. I just got back from seeing it in the theater, so let's dive on in. So in this movie, best friends Becky and Hunter find themselves at the top of a 2,000-foot radio tower. I actually think they call it a TV tower, but tomato, tomato. Anyway, so I didn't really have any anticipation going into this film. I hadn't seen a trailer, just saw that it was, I think, relatively new. It's been out for a week or two, and I just haven't been able to get around to it, but I was able to get it in today. So this will be a spoiler review, but I'll start off with just my non-spoiler thoughts to kind of give you a taste of the movie and know my recommendation, and then we'll go into spoilers, but I'll let you know when we get into the spoiler section as we're going in. So overall though, I enjoyed this movie. I give it, yeah, a solid B. I enjoyed it throughout. I was on the edge of my seat. It was like the right amount of like tension and that sort of thing that you want for this sort of a movie where it's kind of a danger or survival type movie. I thought the characters were well done enough, and I mean they're not going to get any sort of like acting nominations or anything like that, but I thought they did a good job, the actresses playing the characters. So I think it's a good sort of movie for the type of movie that it is. So with that, we'll get into kind of my spoiler thoughts, mainly because there's just some stuff. The stuff that I particularly liked about the film definitely gets into spoilers for why I liked that. So yeah, here's your spoiler warning. Be warned if you continue ahead. We're getting into spoilers. So the the main thing that I actually really liked about this film was how there's one part that took me by surprise, and it was kind of the setup that made that surprise even better. So throughout the whole film, there are several story elements that I found fairly predictable, or like I saw coming either a little bit ahead or a significant part ahead. And I don't think that's because they were like, I think they purposely laid the breadcrumbs, and it's made in a way for you to kind of predict those things. So the first is when Dan has his fall, and you've got the shot just inside the hole where I think it's like a bat or something flies out, and he falls. So like within that, part of you is like, oh, maybe it's just a fake out, but I was pretty sure something was going to happen. And so that was the first instance. The second instance is they dropped clues about the connection between Dan and Hunter. And so I certainly picked up on those well before they actually confirmed that in the film. And then the third was like the ladder falling. Like you just knew something was going to go wrong, and they kept hinting at it the entire time, like as they're going up the ladder, showing the screws falling out one by one. So like they lay these breadcrumbs, and then out of nowhere, although it's like looking back, they gave us one hint, but out of nowhere, for me anyway, I did not see it coming. That in like the last bit of the film, Becky is hallucinating that Hunter's still there after she fell, and she hallucinates that she actually caught herself on the backpack and didn't just fall onto the satellite dish or whatever and die. So like that took me completely by surprise, and I love it because the entire movie they set up so many things that I just saw coming, and then this one came out of nowhere. And like looking back, there was one clue, and that was how Becky didn't even not Becky, sorry, Hunter didn't even try to catch the backpack as it fell down when Becky was way up at the top, charging up the drone. So like that, I like that was the clue, and my brain processed that as being kind of funny because Becky even asked Hunter why she didn't try to catch it, and she just kind of ignores her. And looking back, like, oh, of course she didn't try to catch it, or she didn't catch it because she's an hallucination, and so she can't catch the backpack. So she's like, she didn't even try because she's not really there. So I thought that was really clever, and that was probably my favorite part of the movie. But otherwise, I enjoyed the relationship between the two characters. Obviously, it's a complex one, given that they're like very very good friends, but then Hunter ended up falling in love with Dan after he was already together with Becky, and that's further complicated by the fact that Dan is dead now. So that was, I thought that had an interesting element to the story, but yeah, overall, I thought it played it as a good sort of survival and wilderness trouble situation sort of movie. I don't know what you'd really call that, suspense of sorts, I guess. But yeah, I thought the main thing I wanted to share and that I really liked about the film was that she was hallucinating Hunter for like a good portion of the film, and I just didn't see that coming. And then yeah, it made sense to be practical about it and use her to cushion the phone to get to the bottom. I will say what prevented this film from being kind of higher for me was the amount of like suspending disbelief. I think there wasn't anything like totally out there, but there's like a number of things that were like borderline, okay, sure, like that really happened. Like her being able to charge the drone off of like the light bulb at the top of that thing, and then the fact that nobody would come looking for them after, like, if Hunter goes silent online for 4 days, how does nobody think to like go looking for her or think that something went wrong when the last post was her like starting her journey up this tower? And then you'd think somebody would think twice when they saw that the blinking red light stopped and like, oh, like what's up with that? Like they got nobody to check on that. So there's a number of things that were like that. Oh, the other thing that I totally saw coming was the drone getting hit by the truck. Like so I'm like, oh yeah, that is not making it there. Something is gonna happen, and yeah, sure enough, the truck came. But I think yeah, it was a number of things that were like borderline. I had to suspend belief, although it wasn't like totally wrong. Like another one was the vultures, and they're kind of like at first or at times they're interested in attacking her, but then other times not. And the fact that she was still able to function that amount of time for like without any food and water, like sure it's possible, but it's all these things that are like they're not impossible or illogical, but they're like improbable, and when you get enough of them stacking up, it just becomes very improbable. And that's just kind of how my brain works. So it was a little hard to turn that off for the film, but not so much that it made it unenjoyable. It just didn't. It kept it back from being a bit higher. But yeah, again, I thought this was a solid B. It's one I'd recommend if you're looking for something to see, not necessarily something you got to go out of your way to see. But it definitely had me, yeah, on the edge of my seat. Definitely had me feeling like scared of heights for the way that it's filmed and the views that you get. Definitely felt like I was that high up, and I felt scared for them. So those were all elements that I appreciated and enjoyed with this film. So if you had a chance to see Fall, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Did you see the twist coming that Hunter was just hallucinated there in like the last part of the movie, or did that catch you by surprise as well? I'd love to hear it in the comments. And with that, yeah, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video when it drops. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.